Let's take a look once again at your YouTube channels. Thank you so much for being here. Those of you watching live, you have the opportunity to have your channel randomly selected for us to audit. And those of you watching after the fact, you're going to learn a ton. And in both cases, you should all be taking notes. There's going to be a lot to pick up on today. I'm going to welcome in Jeff, who's also auditing channels. How's it going?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I decided to just start shouting things. I didn't know what I was going to say. And then the live light turned on. And I'm like, audits.
Stuff. vidIQ.
Yeah, we're vidIQ. We do things. So what we're going to be doing is, like I said, we're going to be auditing your channels. And what we have here for you is a quick explainer video to get you warmed up. This is for anyone who's new. This will tell you how it's done.
Welcome to the vidIQ channel reviews live stream. Simply fill in the correct form in the video description and your channel will be considered for review during a live stream. Channel reviews are free, so no need to send us a super chat. Don't spam us in the live chat. We'll ignore it and maybe put in timeout. After the live stream, don't forget to download the vidIQ extension where you can get custom channel audit, daily ideas, and an AI-powered video title generator. Link is in the description. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience and passion as fellow creators.
Thank you to all of our moderators who help us out on the live stream every week. You know who you are. Give us a like if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and share it with like-minded fellow creators. All right, let's get started.
All right. Sorry about the echo there. I guess sharing my screen during that. I was going to have the screen all up for you like I was prepared. It didn't work. So let me try that again. We'll share the screen and let me know if any audio stuff goes wrong again. Sorry about that. So that's anyway how it works. Hopefully you managed to get some, something out of that. With all the audio issues, the forums are down below. Don't spam the chat, blah, 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 blah. Why don't we check out the first channel that submitted on the form? That's what we like to do. We put these forms out and we try and pick the very first person. They get cleared every week. So we try to pick the first person who managed to submit. And this week on the non-gaming forum, it was Dark Spider David, who in their forum said they do both Spider-Man and Batman content. I thought it was
interesting.
Cool. Yeah. They do shorts. They do longs. They just released something an hour ago, in fact. And they have quite the catalog of content here, Jeff.
Interesting choice, though. Two very popular characters, but both on the same channel to me is quite interesting. So you got to find that person that's into both Batman and Spider-Man, which I don't know. I guess, hey, man, if it's working, cool. I would wonder if one works for your channel better than the other, but either way, two top tier choices, I would say.
Yeah, these are obviously very popular characters, and there's gonna be a lot to talk about regardless, just because there's always a new movie or something. One thing I noticed was this video with 100,000 views from a month ago. The real reason McFarlane Arkham City, the real reason to get
that thumbnail, man.
Yeah. So I'm trying to decide, was that it? Do you think the thumbnail is like the big draw there for people clicking on it? Or was it just a great thumbnail title combo? I think it's pretty funny. That's for sure.
Well, the figures are pretty popular. That's a thing to also keep in mind. So not just the characters. The actual, like the McFarlane Arkham City figures. Those are going to be quite popular. Timing wise, it's going to be a good move. But I think the thumbnail is really what's attracting attention. So it is what it is. If it's getting the clicks, it works. Assuming that, now don't take me at a literal sense there. If it gets the clicks, but you're not baiting people, as long as you're actually going to talk about the thing and show the thing that you show in your thumbnail, then you're good. So you got to make sure you're fulfilling that click. But yeah, I think that's one of the main reasons why that one popped off as well as it did.
Yeah, I think it was a good combo. They may have also hit this at the right time. Maybe some new action figures came out and they got them as soon as they could and got a video out as soon as possible. Maybe they got them early. Maybe they've built up, relationships with people who make these, and who knows? Maybe they got early access. That's certainly a thing we've seen happen. I think just looking at the moving thumbnail here, it looks like there's nothing quality is really good. Like the camera quality, the sound quality.
Being a holy mother.
Top tier.
See, if you can get somebody to laugh like that in the intro, in those first 30 seconds, you got me. Now I'm gonna have to go back and watch this this video. Now I'm gonna have to do that, just for scientific research purposes, obviously.
Yeah. Obviously, we take our jobs very seriously, and we, when we're not auditing your channels live, we're doing it in the background for science. So yeah, I think this this channel has figured out a lot, but there's also a lot of spots where we look at it and we feel like, things are not going as well. So for example, Blackest Night Zombie Batman in McFarlane Toys. So it's another video about McFarlane action figures. I would say pretty clickable thumbnail, nice and clean. But it's still within the same time frame of this video too, and it didn't do nearly as well. So when we see stuff like that, I'm sure it's very frustrating. I'm sure we look at that and we are like, why? Why?
Yeah, it could be timing. I don't know if that one came out before or after the main video, or if the hook wasn't enough to keep people in. So there could have been a retention drop. It's obviously multiple reasons that we can't see, which is kind of the sad part, but there really isn't much we can sort of do about that. But that could be what's going on. It could just be that it's sort of timed out. It's McFarlane Toys. Yeah, but it's also a very wordy title. Blackest Night Zombie Batman is McFarlane Toys at their horrifying blank. Like, that's a pretty long title as well. So,
at their horrifyingly best. Or horrifying best.
Okay. I don't know. I think there might have been a shorter way of saying that to make it a little bit easier to understand just at a glance.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's a huge difference between, now that you mention it, the title of this video and the title of this video. The title of this video is so straightforward. The real reason to get McFarlane Arkham City figures. Yeah. And it satisfies a couple of things. It's curiosity, but it's also informative, because if you are looking at reviews for these products and you're thinking about picking something up, this video just already promises that it's going to cover it. It's a 20-minute video, and the thumbnail's kind of, tongue-in-cheek. It's all great. But what's troublesome about the video they released a little bit later is that it's like you said, it's too wordy. There's nothing specific about it. It doesn't seem like it's going to, it looks like a review, but it just doesn't, I don't get the sense it's going to answer my questions.
Yeah, it doesn't give me a reason to click. And that's the difference there in that title. And titles are super important. Let's not sleep on titles. And we also have an excellent video on the vidIQ channel about titles, featuring our friend Jake Thomas, who really broke down the psychology behind how to get people to click via your titles. But yeah, I completely agree there. But overall, I mean, I like what I'm seeing from their channel, and obviously they are resonating with a couple of audiences because I think they've surpassed 4,000 subs already, so they're doing pretty good.
Yeah. The last thing I want to point out, because I think all this channel needs to do is a nice little audit of their own titles and thumbnails. The Batman 2022 chest armor from Etsy. So I think title-wise, pretty straightforward. It's chest armor. They're making it on Etsy. You can buy it. That's pretty cool. Thumbnail-wise, big issue. It doesn't look like anything. That's the big problem. If I'm not reading the title and I'm just looking at thumbnails, I don't know that that's chest armor. And I think the right thing would have been for you to have modeled it somehow. It doesn't need to be in the entire you in the frame. It could literally just be like shoulder down, and it could show you wearing it. But I think that's going to be the biggest thing, because you need that visual light bulb moment. Like when people see it, they're like, oh, how do I get one of those? And right now it just kind of looks like a hunk of plastic. So I'm not really sure. I can see there's a Batman logo on it, but I'm not really sure what it is that you're trying to tell me. You added the text Batman chest armor, but it's the red text and the yellow. So for some reason, my eyes skip right over it. So it's little things like that I think are stealing clicks from you.
Yeah, the red, the Batman logo, understandable, but against a red burgundy purplish background, just doesn't work. It just simply doesn't work, man. So that's one of the things where you would want to kind of look at a little bit of the color theory of what colors work on top of each other, so that they don't they don't clash completely, but also that it doesn't kind of drown it out. So, but definitely something to look into, and I would for sure listen to what Dan's saying, because it's little things like this that could be stealing clicks away from you. That could definitely be working in your favor. So, but yeah, overall, man, I like what I'm seeing though.
Yeah. Definitely. I just wanted to look at most popular real quick. McFarlane got banned from using this accessory for all DC figures. I mean, again, spot on title and thumbnail. Super straightforward. and interesting, like really interesting concept. What happened to Spider-Man Lotus? This looks like it would have been like a whole different movie with a different Spider-Man, like the way you've done this thumbnail and stuff. Spider-Man fans looking for any information at all about like another Spider-Man movie or franchise are probably gonna be very interested in that. So that did well. We already saw this one. Is the No Way Home Marvel Legends 3-pack worth it? I mean, again, tons of value. Just promised in that title and thumbnail.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to do variations of successful titles on future videos. Like, don't be afraid. Not every video that you do has to have a 100% unique title. If you have a title format that has worked for you before, then don't be afraid to use that title format again. So let's say that there is so like with this one, right? That is the No Way Home Marvel Legends 3-pack really worth it? Is the blank really worth it? Right? That could work for so many other things that you do on your channel. So just things like that where you can make that work. Top 5 blank, like the top 5 McFarlane Batman figures, top 5 blank figures so far. Whatever. But just think of those titles that have been very successful for you and see how you can reshape them to fit whatever the new product or the new movie or whatever the new thing is that you're going to be talking about.
Yep. See, and what you just touched on too is a video we're working on right now about that exact theory of titles. We had another opportunity to speak to Jake Thomas, so look out for that. Because
nice.
Yes, it's going to be awesome.
I love Jake.
Yeah, Jake's awesome. Shared a lot with us, and I cannot wait for you guys to see it. So yeah, tons of stuff here. I think normally what people would expect me to say is like, oh, well, you're covering Batman and Spider-Man, and those are two different audiences. I'm thinking in the case of this channel, it's working. I think you can cover Batman and Spider-Man on the same channel if you do it the right way. And I think they are. I think they have enough videos about enough different topics with over 100,000 views now that prove that, you know, they can topic jump a little bit and they have that license to do that. I think they understand their audience here. So great job. All right. So that was the first channel that submitted on the non-gaming form when the stream went scheduled yesterday. Let's look at the gaming form now. We have 2 forms below. One of them is exclusive to gaming channels because we get so many of them. And this is Autopia. They have just under 400 subscribers, and they are doing both shorts and long form videos. And it looks like some of their shorts are doing very well. I think we might check out 1 or 2 of these. We might see a lot of shorts today. I've actually picked a couple of shorts channels to look at today. Shorts are just kind of getting really popular. So they did upload a day ago, and we can take a look and just see how they're doing titles and thumbnails right now, and maybe give some feedback. And I'll start by saying I'm surprised that there is a channel covering Geometry Dash in 2022, almost 2023. I mean, that alone is impressive considering that the game is so old now. So the first thing I want to do, just for my own sake here, is Geometry Dash. And I just want to see what's coming up lately on this. It does look like this topic is still popular today. We have a channel with 500,000 subscribers getting 250,000 almost views here on a Geometry Dash video. We have shorts in this space doing very well. We'll talk about the camera angles on these in a moment. And then we have one here from 4 years ago. That's more like what I would expect. I thought there'd be a bunch of videos from years ago. But 2 days ago, 130,000 views. Again, shorts really dominating here. The Mystery of Fake Geometry Dash. This seems like a bit of a video essay on Geometry Dash. So that could do well. So there's opportunities in this space. And what you should be doing as the creator is looking at those and doing your best to kind of, you know, see what's working for those, what's not. And you've only uploaded a handful of long form videos. So I think you're probably already doing that. These thumbnails seem to be in line with what we just saw on the Geometry Dash search. And yeah, overall, very interesting to see this game kind of resurface like this. Anything you're picking up on, Jeff, as we check out this channel?
Sure. No, sorry. I was what I was doing there was I was doing a search for Geometry Dash on Google Trends, and it seems that in the past, over the past 5 years, there was a dip, but it's resurged. which is pretty interesting in the past 2 years. And it's actually holding very steady. So it makes sense. There's still some traffic left for it. Obviously not as massive as what you're getting for like Call of Duty, Minecraft, Roblox, things of that nature. But still, there still seems to be quite a bit of interest in this topic. So kudos to them for identifying that.
Yeah. So yeah, congrats on, I think what's pretty early success here for only having 5 long form videos. I think a lot of people would love to have, you know, almost 400 subscribers. This is great. You're getting hundreds of views on these. So overall, just long form video wise, I'd be very, very happy with these results if I were you. And the thing I'm going to challenge you to do is just take a really good look at your titles and the overall theme of your video, the thing that you're trying to get people to click on, and really try and do your best to answer that question. Why should I watch this? Because I feel like the videos we saw when we did the search for Geometry Dash a moment ago did have that figured out. But then again, like Doors levels, this person has 500,000 subscribers. They can get away with simpler titles. Geometry Dash World's Hardest Menu Theme. Like, even as someone who doesn't play this game, that title makes sense to me. And that's kind of what I'm trying to, the point I'm trying to get across here is like, your title should really like be easy to understand in an instant. Every Geometry Dash level, all coins. Obviously, that was a long time ago now. Let's see. This one looks like it's jumping on a trending topic. Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's Geometry Dash 4. They're, you know, obviously kind of like memeing them there.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if Rob Top made Limbo? So some interesting concepts here. So yeah, just work on answering those questions for the viewer. Why should I watch?
Yeah.
And then I want to look at shorts because they've had a lot of success in the short space. And when I think of Geometry Dash, I kind of feel like this is probably where, you know, a lot of people should be. You know, you have this game. It used to be popular. Now it's not as popular, but still very interesting to watch, like visually satisfying to watch. And, you know, someone scrolls by on shorts. Now you don't have to try and like grab their attention so hard with the title. It's just those first couple of seconds. Like, are you going to grab their attention? So this one has 23,000 views. We could just take a really quick look at it here. So I guess it's like this character's reaction to making it in there. Yeah, so this is, I like how dynamic this is. I think you're making good use of the space here, despite the screen being like really squashed down. I think that's pretty cool. So you've already, you know, been making some really big waves here. And then also you did the thing I was going to point out where I saw other creators doing this too. You have your keyboard and mouse in the frame with the gameplay. And for games like this is really interesting. What I would have done though is I would have zoomed in more because this looks very not very energetic.
Yeah, I was going to say, because if the game, because notice how the left hand is not even on the keyboard, right?
Yeah.
So if this is a mouse only game, if you're going to show the angle, you better pull that camera up right on your hand and that mouse so that if there's any movement, however subtle, it can show up on the camera. Because right now it just looks like we're looking at a dude with his hand on a mouse. Even if it's moving, the movements are so subtle because we're so far away that we can't tell. So it would add a little more, it would give it more presence, if anything. So that'd be what I would do. Mm-hmm.
I think seeing fingers flying around on the keyboard, watching how you're moving the mouse, like consider the reason why people do this second angle. And it's to show, it's to give more context to what's going on in the top screen in this case. So if you had taken the camera and just turned it to the other side of the desk and zoomed right in on the mouse, it would have been way more interesting because we would have seen the subtle movements that your mouse is making. And I would have needed to watch this more than once so that I could watch the first frame and see what the little ship does, and then watch the second frame a second time around to see what you did to control it and to make that happen. So this is like a great strategy, I think, for shorts. And I think you should continue doing stuff like this and keep playing with those angles because you're probably going to see a lot more videos with 24,000 views like this one.
Yeah.
I'm going to recommend you get rid of the subscribe button. It's getting covered up on desktop, which means it's definitely getting covered up on mobile. And it just kind of makes it seem, this might be a personal opinion, but it makes you feel a little bit needy, right? Like, I'm only making these to grow my subscriber number, so please subscribe. Like, if people want to subscribe, YouTube already has you covered. They already gave you a nice big subscribe button in the corner of all these shorts. Let YouTube do that for you. Everything you put on top of that is just distracting at that point. So I'm going to challenge everybody to not put subscribe call to actions in their shorts. So there you go.
Fair enough.
That was our first gaming channel, and hey, good luck. This is a really, really, really strong start, especially in the space of YouTube Shorts. Really good job.
And it's nice seeing something with a different game, somebody doing something different. So that's a breath of fresh air for sure.
Good luck, and we will check out the video details page of our live stream. We'll check out the next channel. I believe you picked this one.
Yes, sir.
So Coolio Mo with almost 200 subscribers. Congrats to them. They are doing shorts as well.
Yep.
Do you know which one they're more? I guess this was 2 weeks ago. They're doing both.
Yeah, it feels like they're doing a bit of both, which is totally fine. Like that's the cool thing about having the different tabs and categories on your channel now, and the fact that YouTube is also building bridges, however small, in between our shorts content and our main content as well. And then live streams pretty much operate like videos at this point from the evidence that I've seen. But it's nice to see that. But one of the things, or one of the reasons I picked this was one. It really popped out at me when I landed on this channel. So there, the thumbnails popped out at me, even though I think they could use a little bit of work. But when I clicked on the video for their newest video, the one with 1.4K views, the editing was solid. It looks like they might be filming with their phone, but the editing and the video quality is really good. The pacing is good. They got me with the hook, and I wanted to stay. It helps that I'm a fan of Mitsubishi, so that also helps. But yeah, overall, I was very, very surprised at the video quality and the presence of the creator for a channel at this size, at this time. I'm not sure how long they've been on YouTube, but the quality is definitely up there. So I was very, very impressed.
This is looking really, really solid. Yeah. And by the way, we're going to do video reviews tomorrow. So we're going to be diving into hooks and things like that. Today, it's all about the surface level stuff, the title, the thumbnail, getting people to click. Tomorrow, it's about keeping them after the click. So that stream will start at the same time this one did, but tomorrow. I want to talk about the thumbnails a little bit. There's two major things I'm seeing here that could use improvement. One of them is the picture itself of the cars.
Yes.
You see it too. It's oftentimes when they're taking pictures of cars, especially the last two thumbnails, the image is stretched. And you can tell that because the car looks unnaturally flat. It was taken, the picture was probably taken at a certain resolution, and to get it to fit the thumbnail, they kind of stretched it out. When you are faced with this problem, you want to crop in. You don't want to stretch your image because people can tell instantly. And it just kind of takes away, it detracts a lot of quality from your thumbnails. So especially when it comes to cars, like really recognizable types of cars and things like that, people look at this and they can, tell immediately that something's kind of funky with the thumbnails. And then the text was the other thing.
Yes.
I think it's a cool font. I just don't think it's great for thumbnails. It's hard to read.
Yep. It looks like they're experimenting with a bunch of different styles. If you see, like the latest one with that bluish and purple, then we have the yellow. The one issue is color. One issue is font, right? And you can see it like the last one, favorite event, then Mazda Y, and then. So here's the issue: is one, I love the experimentation. I just need you to decide what you want to use. If you need to use text, I would start making thumbnails with both. That's one with text, one without text, right? But I also need you to land on something, and let's not try to be cute. And this is something that I know can happen in a lot of different genres. And for some genres, that can work. For some niches, it just doesn't. One thing I would suggest is try to simplify this, like how you did with the Mazda Y. Where it just says Mazda or even actually scroll down a little bit. There was one below the no prep drags. Like that's perfect. That's perfect. It's big, bold, it makes perfect sense. I don't have to try to decipher what it is. There aren't any kind of crazy color gradients. What I'm trying to say is less is more when it comes to thumbnails. Simplicity of being able to understand it immediately instead of having crazy colors and crazy fonts that make me have to like look into it. It might look cool, but for a thumbnail, it simply doesn't work. So that's the other thing I would fix. But on the thumbnail thing, there's a channel that we reviewed, me, you, and Rob a while back, called The Squid. 2 words, and squid is spelled with 2 D's. Their channel is absolutely demolishing right now, but their thumbnail game is unbelievable. Look at this. And mind you, look at those view counts on a channel with 6 videos.
But Jeff,
but you see
YouTube hates small channels.
Yeah, exactly. So 72,000 subs on 6 videos. Boom, son. Get it done. But look at the cleanliness of these thumbnails.
Oh, yeah.
There isn't a bunch of stuff going on in the background. It's the vehicle, first and foremost, separated from the background. They're using text, but the text is 1 word, 3 words only at most in one thumbnail, and super legible. So just something to think about. This is high level YouTubing right here is what you're seeing. But it's something that can give you an idea of what simplicity can do in combination with topics that people actually care to watch.
That was the other thing I wanted to talk about too, because if you look at these titles, again, I'm not a big car guy, but these are super straightforward. I understand these. I know what they're trying to tell me. How the Dodge Viper saved America. It's been 3 hours. The video is getting 250 views per hour thanks to one of our vidIQ tools letting us know that. And it already has over 3,000 views. This is going to be another hit for them. You can already tell. And it's so super clear. You know, that you have the Dodge Viper, you have one big bold word, and then you have the very simple title. I know exactly what this is about. But when you look at the channel we were auditing, and we scroll down to No Prep Drags, which is arguably of their most recent stuff, probably one of their best thumbnails. There's a huge missed opportunity here because it looks like you're covering a drag race, but the title isn't really promising that. It's just something about drag racing. And I think you could have given it a much more interesting, fulfilling title, something that really tells me what the video is going to be. Like No Prep Drags. I guess if I really think about it, it sounds like cars coming off the road, like, and just getting on the racetrack. They're not doing a bunch of stuff to prepare for the race. But I'm not going to think that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see that and keep scrolling because I'm not going to take the time to think about it. And that's the big issue. Like Jeff and I have the luxury of kind of sitting here and trying to decode titles and thumbnails because we do it all the time. And the whole point of the stream is to do that, to try and give some advice. But the average viewer isn't going to do that. So it's super, super important that you keep in mind with every one of these videos, the title and the thumbnail are equally important. And I need to know what happens in that video by reading the title, and the thumbnail should also support that. And that goes for everybody.
Yeah, literally.
You're going to see us give that same bit of advice in different ways throughout this live stream, no matter if it's a gaming channel or a car channel or a cooking channel. Because we just see it so often. Like that's the biggest thing is like, is this video understandable for somebody who's scrolling by? And even if it is to you, you don't take that for granted that these are people who've never seen your content before. They don't know what was in your head when you wrote that title. They don't know what was in your head when you made that thumbnail.
Yep. And we also have to keep in mind that most of your views as a new and upcoming channel are coming from people who have never seen you before. So don't think you're making videos for your subscribers or for people who have watched your content before. Approach it like people that have never seen it before. The packaging of your video, title and thumbnail. Think of that. Think of that in your head. As someone who's never seen this video, is this going to make sense to them? And if it doesn't pass that filter, you got to rethink your strategy.
100%. Let's take a look at the next channel that submitted. Oh, never mind. I have something to tell you first. Right now, we are still running our Cyber Monday sale. It's Cyber Week, and you can actually get 50% off 6 months of Boost. That's all of our tools packaged into one. 6 months, 50% off. If you use the code Cyber Week at checkout. The link is in the description. All the info you need. So do check that out. That's it. That was my plug. I have something else to talk about now, and it is crafty plants. So Crafty Plants is doing shorts primarily, and I wanted to pick
Nice.
this as a shorts channel to audit because I watched one or two of these, and I saw some really, really interesting stuff. Now, this is not video review day, but when it comes to shorts, it's a totally different ball game. The first few seconds of your short are like the title and the thumbnail. It almost doesn't matter in some cases what the title or the thumbnail is, because if people are scrolling, then this is what they're going to see. This is the pitch of the video. So they even put the title in as text in the middle of the screen, how to pack a plant. It kind of came and went really fast. And all it is some music. And they're showing us something kind of interesting here. A lot of people have house plants, so they're showing you how to properly pack it if you want to move the plants. And even though I'm not like, I feel like I'm not an anything person, because this is the third time that I'm saying this, but I'm not a blank guy. I'm not a plant guy. But even though I'm not a plant guy, this is helpful to know. This is like something, if I scroll by shorts and someone shows me this, I might go, oh, I didn't know. I never even considered how to pack up a plant, but now, I'll know if I ever need to move my house plants that I don't have, I will know how to do this. So even if you're not like a plant person, I think this is a helpful video. However, there's a couple things that I think could have helped you get even more views. First things first is the text. And it's two things. It's the font you chose with the color and everything, and then it's the positioning of the text. It's way, way, way too low on the screen, especially when you have all of this real estate above the text. Like if I keep letting it play and let it loop, you can see that this space above the text stays vacant the whole time. In fact, while the plant's being packed up, most of the action is in the top half of the frame. So you could have put the text in the middle in this part if you wanted to. Because when I was watching this, I was getting something out of it. I was watching them pack up the plant, but then my eyes kind of just naturally like looked down after a few seconds, and I'm like, oh, there's a whole conversation going on down below. And it's these what look like paragraphs just scrolling by, telling me more context and information. And I feel like I missed, now I have to watch it again because I totally missed a whole bunch. So it's just that, like right here, like that's such a big block of text, and it's covered up by the title, and it's going to look like this on mobile too. When you watch shorts, a lot of this, depending on the size of your phone, a lot of stuff gets crammed in that bottom section. I would say that bottom quarter of the screen, it's almost unusable in YouTube Shorts. And it's like that on TikTok too. I don't know if you've noticed this, Jeff, but this is not a helpful section of any short form video.
No. Usually when they come up with any sort of captions or things of that nature, they usually are in the middle and they kind of smack you in the face, which I'm okay with as long as it's not something where it's like covering up something that I really need to see. Isn't that big of a deal. I get what they're trying to go for here. But here on YouTube, as you can see here, it's literally too small. It's a lot of words. Font choice is another matter, but it's also being covered up by the other text. So, yep.
Those things, I think those things alone would have helped this channel get a lot more views on this video. And I want to point out one last thing for this short, and this is just a lesson in like keeping your shorts as long as they possibly need to be. The bubble wrap, the paper was important. The bubble wrap is important. The packaging at the end here is important. So they're going to put it in a box and they're going to tape it to the side of the box so it doesn't roll around. Okay, so it's taped. It's taped again. Great. All of this is helpful. A lot of tape, and then they put some more paper in there. It feels like right here, it's just they're taping. They're like, we get to the end, they show the box. I feel like that could have been cut down. I started to understand the point when you put the first piece of tape down. So, and this is a nitpick at best. I wouldn't say this is a make or break, but keeping people to watch your short from beginning to end is important. And I think once we got one piece of tape on the bubble wrap, you could have probably cut out the other pieces and just cut to all four of them being there, right? Maybe change the camera angle a little bit so people can see that you've now taped it 4 times. This is a lesson in not having to show every little tiny thing you're doing. You know, it might have helped a little bit with retention, but again, probably not a make or break. Just if I'm to nitpick a little bit, that'd be one of the things I would say. In general, a lot of these shorts get similar views, but occasionally you have a breakout that gets like over 1,000. And I'd be looking at these and really ultimately paying attention to the hook and trying to take yourself out of it a little bit. Consider those new viewers and consider like, is this a short that anyone would be able to understand and get something out of, whether or not they're someone who collects a lot of plants or not. Because again, I think even this is helpful to like the average person, you know, and if the more shorts you can do like that, I think the more moments of like success you're going to see. So yeah.
Yep.
I picked a shorts channel. I wanted to talk about it. We might even have another one coming up in a second. Who knows? Who knows? But right now it's Tarot with Nithu. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And Jeff, I believe this was one of your picks.
Yeah, it's definitely one that I picked. We had mostly because it's something a little bit different. We don't see a lot of these channels come across our submission forms. So I figured, hey, let's pull them up. Plus, they have some work that they need to do. Now, obviously, paying attention to your niche, doing thumbnail research is always going to be important. So that's what we're going to talk about here. And this is something that we've already talked about this a couple of times already when it comes to text. There is a lot going on. So this video from a day ago, title obviously is quite long, but you also have so many words in your thumbnail. It's unbelievable. So we can do a word count, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, maybe 15. That's a bit much. It's a bit much. So if Nitu is watching this, we really need to start keeping that down to less than 5 words. Less than 5 words. If you can do it in 3, even better. Can you give me just 1 word? Cool. So kind of like how you did this one, this 1111 portal. Beautiful, right? Although now you have a bunch of stuff across the top on every single one. Every single one has this tarot, pick a card, timeless read. We don't need all that. It's so small that it's going to be illegible on a thumbnail. So even when you're designing it, and because you know it's there, you can read it, doesn't mean that it's going to make any sense to anyone. So it's just taking up space. That's all it's doing. The ones below this, there's even tinier writing. Like there's one that says Eclipse Season, second from the right in the middle. There's text above that. I can't even read that.
It's still tarot, pick a card, timeless reading.
Yeah, it's just, so don't do that. Just don't do that. So try to keep it simple. If you can do it in less than 5 words, awesome. But really just get rid of that clutter, because all it's doing is it's cluttering your thumbnails with a bunch of needless information. Keep it simple. Give me a reason to click. And that's it. And then one of the other things, if we go back up, because some of those titles are quite long, but there's sometimes where they've done titles that were actually shorter, that actually kind of worked because I was able to pick up on them very, very easily.
Yeah, what your dreams trying to tell you?
Yeah, pick a card. I mean, it keeps it much more simple. 1111 powerful portal to manifest your desire. So things like that, where you just kind of simplify it. Tell me these things, and I want to challenge you and everybody in the chat as well. Can you do your titles in less than 50 characters? Can you do your titles in less than 40 characters? Right? Challenge yourselves. Challenge yourself to do shorter titling, because it's going to force you to be much more concise with what you're telling me. And it's like, can we simplify that? How can we simplify this? Both the thumbnails and the titles, because I want you to get to that level of almost like explain it to me like I'm 5 kind of thing, because I want to be able to understand your title and thumbnail instantly. I don't want to have to think about it. I want to be able to understand it instantaneously.
The days of needing to like keyword stuff your titles for purposes of search, those have been over for a very long time.
Yep.
Those were like the early days of YouTube when algorithms were still learning and everything was still very new. Now you can get by with very, very short titles. YouTube's gotten very good at determining what this video is about, who it needs to be for. So yes, shorter titles for everybody all around. I want to talk about the titles in a different sense too. I'm noticing, like, especially the videos from a few weeks ago, a month ago, they're painfully vague. Like, painfully vague. And what we're going to do in a second is look up tarot readings on YouTube to see what kind of comes up, to see what's kind of working in this space. I'm not a tarot guy, okay? But
same.
I think that some of these have really good opportunities if you were to frame them in a different way. Because when people are having tarot readings done, I believe it's because they're trying to get an answer to a question, right? They have something going on in their life, and they would like to see if these cards can reveal some insights into the future. That's how I understand it. I could be way off, not a tarot guy. But if that's the case, I would be framing the titles and the thumbnails of these videos to help those who are trying to get answers to those very specific life problems, those very specific questions. Like, are you going to get that promotion? tarot reading, like, or the cards will tell you, or something like that. That's how I would be kind of framing these videos. But let's take a look. That's just my instinct. Let me take a look at, let me just make sure I spell this right. Tarot readings. Tarot reading today. This could be something right here. Tarot reading today. Let's see. Who are you manifesting? Timeless tarot reading. That was 9 hours ago. Let's see. Virgo, crowned with glory. So yeah, not a lot of clarity there. Let me just do tarot readings. Then there's one more thing I want to show you. December 2022 personal prediction for your zodiac. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. I like that. What will December 2022 bring? Very simple. It's, and you can do this every single month. You could do this for every holiday. What will Christmas bring this year? There's a lot, just one search, and I'm already coming up with video ideas that would be super simple to understand.
Yep, exactly. And this is stuff that we always want to do. And I'm assuming, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they are aware of other channels in their space and some of those topics and stuff. But if you see it working, if you see that people are getting clicks on these specific topics, whether it's top of the month, whether it's top of the week, what week 2 of December holds for you, what week 3 holds for you, stuff like that, whatever that kind of stuff works is definitely formats that you can use in your favor, especially if you see recurring titles across multiple channels that are working quite well for them. It shows that there is traffic for that stuff. So definitely be something that you want to look into. So
yeah, and these are quite long too. I was going to talk about the length of the videos we were looking at on the channel we were auditing, but it looks like long videos in the space are absolutely accepted and something that people like. In fact, these could be, perhaps they were live streams. I don't know. Maybe that's something to experiment with as well. The other thing I wanted to show you was that when you start to type in tarot reading, you get a whole bunch of autofill on YouTube. This is stuff that people have actually typed into search. Now, any channel can use this, by the way. And this is great for coming up with video ideas. It's great for seeing what exactly people are saying. And the less you type, the more revealing it becomes. Just tarot starts to get kind of interesting. Like once you get past some of the ones that are obviously like channel names, you start to see different signs that are in here. Different zodiac signs that are being asked about. So that's already an idea. Tarot reading, that's where we saw tarot reading today, tarot reading Gemini today. So look how specific these get. People are searching for these things. Like this is stuff people actually want to know about. And we even have tools. If you get that boost plan, especially, we have tools that go even deeper with the same technique, but show you actual questions people are asking. We've already talked about it today, but I just want to let you know, we even go deeper on this with our tools. So this is an exercise everyone should be doing, especially if you're trying to figure out not just video ideas, but video ideas that people are actually interested in watching. Because search is still a very powerful tool on YouTube. So this is going to help you a lot. And I think for the channel we were auditing, they should absolutely go in and do that research, because right now I think what you're doing is overcomplicating your titles and your thumbnails, like in a really big way. So I think your job can be a lot simpler. I think your thumbnails can be simpler. I think your titles can be simpler. I think your head will hurt less when you're trying to think of this stuff. This is going to be a game changer for you if you can set this on the right course.
Yep. No, I completely agree. And this goes for a lot of people, because sometimes it's good to think about your stuff. Sometimes we tend to overthink and overcomplicate things, and we get too fancy. And it's the same thing I was talking about earlier with the automotive channel, that the stuff that might look cool or look pretty or look cute and stuff like that is just not going to work. You need to simplify this. So just trust me on this. The easier it is to understand, the more clicks you're going to be able to get for yourself.
100%. So a few things going on right now in the background. We got more channels to audit. We have, the claw, the random channel picker coming up here in just a minute. Before we do that, we also have been getting super chats, and Jeff has been nice enough to, thank you, Jeff, in the background. You've been grabbing these, just questions we're getting from people via super chats. Thank you so much. Super chats will not get you a channel audit, channel review, but we will definitely check out your questions if we have time. Be careful, because the stream's only 2 hours. We're 45 minutes in. If you start giving them too late, then we might not get to your questions. What steps should you take to ensure that a new satirical news channel is not mistakenly suppressed by YouTube as misinformation? Any advice is welcome. Interesting.
Yeah, you'd have to be careful about which topics you're broaching. because and it can happen. So I would suggest being very picky about which topics you're going to cover. Anything that is super controversial, pretty much guaranteed that something's going to happen. So being very, very picky, but also understanding that if you decide to go down that road and it happens, there's really not much you can do about it. We are operating in YouTube's playground, and you have to operate by their rules. And their rules, the goalpost tends to move around sometimes. So that's just the way that the system is. So I would... the controversial topics are going to be the ones that are going to get you more clicks, but it's also going to be the ones that are going to put you at risk of being suppressed, of being having your video be restricted. So just, something you got to be careful with. It's a very, very fine line to walk.
I'm just thinking to myself, I don't know of an example channel to show you in this case, but what I will say is you probably know one or two. So the first thing I would do if I were you is model your strategy after what they're doing, if it's working for them. There's channels that are paving the way for you that you can go and look at. And then the next thing I would say is that failing that experiment, failing that, like let's say you try it and it still messes you up. I think there is something to be said for channels that are commentary channels that cover news stories, but they frame their titles and thumbnails as opinions. And I kind of wonder if you could do that. So, and this is just something I would test. I'm not saying this will work or not work, but let's say you're going to talk about Elon Musk and the whole Twitter situation. There's nothing wrong with talking about that, but pitching your title and your thumbnail as an opinion, right? And especially if it looks like it's going to be funny in the title and the thumbnail. Then I would say YouTube's probably not going to pick that up for misinformation. It's just going to be like any other commentary channel that's talking about a popular trending topic. But if you make it sound like on the surface as a legitimate news video, like if you try to pull The Onion and you go a little too hard with that title and that thumbnail, it could get flagged. So I don't know. Maybe The Onion is The Onion on YouTube?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Maybe you could look at this, but it depends because it doesn't look like this is at The Onion. They got over 2 million subscribers. It doesn't look like a news channel at all. And The Onion's a satirical news thing. It's been a long time since I even checked on them. So maybe they've branched out, but yeah, like I would be taking a look at some of their content as an example. And you might know some better ones, so maybe some ones that are a little more relevant today. But yeah, those are just some of the things that pop into my head.
Yeah, for sure.
How often should you post a video? This is a great question.
That's a good question. Yeah, for sure. Go for it, man.
As often as you like.
Yeah. Post videos at a pace that fit into your lifestyle. Because a lot of us have different things going on, right? So some people are very young and they're in school and they got homework and a lot of stuff. Some people are older and they have kids and a full-time job and they can't post videos daily or weekly. So post at a pace that works for your life. There is no right or wrong answer to this question. It has to fit into your lifestyle. If you can do 3 a week, cool. If you can do 1 a week, cool. If you can do 2 per month, cool. If you can do 3 per day, cool. As long as it fits into your lifestyle. So don't listen to anybody who tells you have to post 1 video every single week. No.
So I'm going to share a quick story with you, and I'm going to share a theory that I'm kind of workshopping right now. This may become a video on the channel, but this is something I'm like actively kind of like trying to figure out. So last night, in fact, I tried posting a video, a YouTube short on a channel that I had since abandoned for almost a year. And I just thought I had this funny little thing that happened, and I'm like, I'm just going to post this to this old channel. And YouTube Shorts did its thing immediately and gave it like a few thousand views very quickly. And then it kind of died, and then it's doing that slow trickle of views thing. So I'm like, okay, cool, successful short. That was almost a year without posting. And what it tells me, what it reminds me of is that YouTube sees every single video as its own thing, right? Like each video is judged on its own. YouTube tells us this. This is something that YouTube has said, and we've repeated ad nauseum. It's just how it works. And so you hear that and you're like, but how often should I post? And I think for my channel, what I did by abandoning it was I missed a bunch of opportunities along the way. Had I kept posting shorts to it, who knows how many subscribers it would be at? Who knows how many total views it would be at? Because every single video you post is an opportunity. And it's an opportunity that stacks on top of other opportunities. And what I mean by that, Jeff, is when you post a video, YouTube is going to shop it around, right? Especially if it knows, if you've done a good job with title, thumbnail, it knows kind of who it's for. It's going to test it on those audiences. And that's views you're getting from browse. If it's searchable, that's views you could get from search and browse. But if you upload another video, now you have even more opportunities. You have the original video bringing you views. Then you have this new one that YouTube is testing, also bringing you views. And then if people watch that first one and like it, YouTube will recommend your old videos to them. So now you have another traffic source bringing your channel exponential growth, potentially. So while it's fine to upload once a year if you want to, there are more opportunities to grow your channel as a whole if you keep posting video after video after video as often as you can. And frequency helps your returning viewers, but your new viewers don't know that you post every week and they don't care, right? So all of these things, like both things can be right. You know what I mean? You should post often and you should post consistently, or you can post as often as you'd like and you don't need to be consistent. Both of those are true depending on your goals. Are you trying to build up this channel in a really steady pace, or do you just want hits of views every so often? Like whenever you have some inspiration, you're loosey-goosey about it, you don't care, you're just going to post a video. You're just going to, well, I'll post a video this month or I won't. It's all up to like the kind of growth you would like to have. You are in control.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. That's really what it comes down to but finding that goal and figuring out what those goals are is going to determine which direction you want to go. So definitely something to give some thought to. But yeah, that's a good question for them. I think we have a couple more there.
Yes. When it comes to animations, how should I do the title, tags, thumbnails, and descriptions?
I don't think there's anything specifically different for an animation channel, to be completely honest. What I would do is do your research, look at other animation channels, look at what kind of titles and tags are working for them. Descriptions, make sure that your description is descriptive of the video. Tags, let vidIQ, let our tools give you some of the recommendations for it. Don't spend more than 30 seconds on tags. But yeah, title, thumbnail, description, look at what is working in your niche. That's really going to be the way to do it. Research it. We can't just tell you like do blank blank and that's going to work. It's going to take a little bit of homework on your side, on your part. Look at other animation channels and other channels in your niche. What is working for them, and see how you can apply that for yourself on those basics.
I think you're asking the question backwards. I think your focus is on the titles and thumbnails and descriptions, but it's not on the content itself. You should be making the titles and thumbnails and descriptions, I guess, first, but your content itself, I would say for an animation channel, it's super important for it to be relevant to somebody, right? Especially like animation channels like to have their own unique characters that kind of, are frequent in their content, but those characters aren't known by anybody but your audience, right? So it's really helpful to put those characters in situations with big pop culture icons, with trending topics, things that are going to get people, new viewers, to come to your channel and check these out in the first place. So it almost doesn't matter what you make your title and description if people don't, if nobody knows how to find your content in the first place, because you're not tailoring it to that like wider audience. Animation channels are really hard for this reason.
No, I completely agree. All the title, tag, thumbnail, description, all of that won't work if nobody cares. So that's why video topic and research before you do anything is super, super important. It's super, super important. So, because sometimes we'll have this like whimsical idea, yeah, I should make a video about that. And then you go through the whole process and then nobody watches it. Even though you did your tags, title, thumbnail, everything looks good, but it's a topic that nobody cares about. So all you're doing is spinning your wheels there. So make sure you're doing that research. That's really, really important.
Another question here. Am I reading the cyber thing right? $25 for 6 months or $25 per month? It should be 50% off boost. It's 50%
so
boost
25 per month.
Yeah, it should be 25 per month. If it's looking kind of funky when you're at checkout or anything, you can always email support@vidIQ.com. They can clear it up. When it comes to numbers and me, I don't ever feel enough confidence in my ability to remember them to repeat them. So they'll get back to you really soon if you have more questions.
I think we have one left here. This is from Retro DJ. I didn't leave a super chat, but they were asking because shorter titles get a low vidIQ score, and they were confused. So I figured, let me pop it up here real quick. Title for humans, don't title for a vidIQ score.
Yeah.
Please listen to me. Listen to me. Everyone in chat, especially Retro DJ SA, who's been here for a long time. Title for humans, not for a vidIQ score. Okay, just please believe me. That's how you want to roll.
Yeah. I would say at this point, Jeff, the score is we should update it a little bit. It's
it definitely needs it needs updating for sure. So I don't want you guys aiming for SEO scores and things like that. It's helpful to make sure you're getting all your ducks in a row, but really it's going to come down to you doing your own research and making sure people actually care about a video first, taking care of your titling and your topic, your title, your thumbnail, getting all that stuff in ahead of time before you turn on your camera. That's going to be way more successful than getting a high vidIQ score.
Yeah,
please believe you. Please believe me on that.
Yeah, YouTube is constantly changing, and you know, it's you'll hear our advice change sometimes, and it's based on things that are happening at YouTube because it moves fast, you know, and that's why we do these live sometimes, because it can be hard to keep up otherwise. So we have a couple more channels before we get into random selections. I want to thank you for being here. There's also more super chat questions. We will come back to those in a little while. Thank you for your super chats. Thank you for your questions. Thanks for your support here on the channel for all the free content we make. Play Stuffer RC. Now this was another shorts channel that I picked. I was pretty excited about it because I'm seeing some really good views on their shorts. And I think this is a fantastic idea for a shorts channel. Like if you're into RC cars, which are a whole thing, like on their own, this is a really good idea, putting this on YouTube Shorts. So you're scrolling by and you're seeing all kinds of awesome tricks and things like that. They're building ramps. They got a lot of property to play with. So I wanted to just look at one of these. Epic Slow-Mo did pretty well, 4.3K views. And they're taking advantage of like trending sounds and stuff, because we don't really need to hear what's going on anyway, unless there's like commentary. And this is rewatchable. Like it's already looped a few times. It's very, very short. Yep. And it's awesome. They're using YouTube's tools to you know, add text throughout. So stair drop, epic slow-mo, and they're changing colors and stuff. So this is like really engaging. Zoom in like that was a cool shot. So they're taking the time to make really, really interesting shorts.
Yeah, no, and it makes a lot of sense, especially for what they're showing. This is perfect. You know, RC stuff, whether it's planes, boats, cars, trucks, whatever it might be, they lend themselves so well to short form content because it's cool stuff to see. Not everybody's going to think it's cool, but the people that do like it or are into it, they're going to love it. They're going to love it. So yeah, I like seeing that.
I'm going to recommend you not use so many hashtags in your shorts. I would do this on TikTok. There's a precedent for it on TikTok. YouTube doesn't really do a whole lot at this time with hashtags, and they've had them for a very long time, and they still haven't really utilized them at all. So I wouldn't bother putting. You can put them in your description; they're still clickable. I wouldn't bother with this many, other than hashtag shorts, which YouTube says you don't even need anymore. I wanted to click on this one because when I saw the thumbnail, I noticed something. I can't see the car because of the trees. So I wanted to see if that was consistent throughout the video. And in the first couple of frames, that remained true. All I'm seeing is garage, and it took me a while to even notice the car up here.
Oh, I got a little note on that, though, for you there, Dan.
Yeah.
So we, in vidIQ Max, and I'm not plugging Max, but in vidIQ Max on Friday, we had a fireside chat with Todd from YouTube. And we had asked him about thumbnails on shorts, and if at some point they were going to be allowing us to like choose, almost the way that you can with TikTok or Instagram Reels, where you can choose a certain moment to have that as kind of like the thumbnail. And I believe they are investing in bringing something like that up. So exactly what you're saying right now, like where you kind of can't tell what's up there. Could be a cat, it could be a lizard, I don't know, but it's a, you know, it's an RC truck. But they're investing in a point where you'll be able to move that, so that whatever you land on is actually going to be whatever thumbnail you want it to be. So, which is kind of cool. So yeah. It's nice to hear that from the source that they are working on something like that for us.
That's great. I wasn't necessarily, I'm glad you mentioned that. I wasn't necessarily talking about thumbnails in particular for that, in that case. Like, so what I saw was this, and
yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. I would love it if like they were able to make that the thumbnail, or like, so we can see the car floating in the air and there's no busy background behind it. I would love that for them. But what I was going to say was that in the first few seconds of the video, is someone going to continue scrolling? They didn't have a chance to see this thumbnail like we did. Right here, when they don't really see what's going on, are they going to keep scrolling? And they may have just posted this a few minutes ago for all we know. I don't know. It could still take off, but there might be a few examples of this because they're shooting in their backyard and there's a lot of trees, there's a lot of stuff in the background, and the camera angles are really zoomed out sometimes, so it's hard to see. And so the one where you were jumping over the stairs was really nice and clear. There was a clear horizon and you could see everything nice and clear. This is a bit busier, and what I would have done to remedy that is played around with camera angles. I would have actually taken like a GoPro or your phone and mounted it on your roof and gotten a shot of the car from behind leaving. And you could have both angles. You could still have this one, but imagine the short starting and you can see the car pulling away, going off of a roof. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
These are this is why I like looking at shorts a lot, because these are the types of tips we can give, because the first couple of seconds of your YouTube short is the title and thumbnail. Like, I don't care what anyone else says. The way people watch YouTube shorts is scrolling. And so they don't have a chance to choose a lot of times. There is short shelves, and sometimes your short can be the entry point. So it's still important to have a good title, and hopefully you get a good thumbnail. Hopefully you get that feature Jeff was talking about. But a lot of times your short shows up like this, where we didn't get a chance to choose. It's already playing.
Yeah, but you nailed it though. The first 3 to 7 seconds of your short is the title and thumbnail, and you have to nail it. So even for my own viewing behavior on TikTok and YouTube Shorts, I know this is true. Because if they don't get me in those first couple seconds with some sort of curiosity, with something, like some sort of a hook that gets me to be like, all right, I'm going to stick around and give them 15, 30 seconds, whatever it might be, you have to nail that. So, yeah, I agree.
So best of luck to you. That's just some advice for you right there to hopefully get your next shorts to blow up. And it looks like you're already doing a pretty good job of that on your own. But, the other thing I was going to say, it would be really cool to see your really big beast of an RC car try and go through a really tiny obstacle course, like maybe in a small environment, something that you could take your phone and hang over it and the whole thing fits in the frame. I don't know. I was just like imagining, you always do this outside in backyards. Is there more like challenging stuff you can do with your car out, like besides just the same setting over and over? If you're looking for some ideas, and it looks like I scroll down a little bit, you got cups you're knocking over and stuff. So you're already kind of doing what I was imagining there. Keep doing stuff like this. I think this stuff is very visually interesting, like visually satisfying. 16,000 views on this one, and I could just tell from the thumbnail that it's going to be pretty cool. Like, it looks like you put a lot of work into that. So good job. Excellent work. All right. We have another pre-selected channel here from Jeff. It's Planet Elysium. They've got 500 plus subscribers and only a handful of videos. They started 4 months ago, and look at that. They're halfway to 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I mean, topic-wise, it's pretty interesting in that sense, UFOs and stuff like that. Pretty cool. But for a channel at 500 subscribers, the reason I brought this up wasn't like they needed a ton of my help. It was more of the fact of the things that they're doing right, and I wanted to point out the very, very simple yet high-level thumbnail action going on here. This made him cry. Terrifying humanoids. Do you believe? Alien invasion. True story. It's like, so stuff like that where they really nail it. And then the titles as well. Even though a couple of them got, I think maybe 1 or 2 of them got longer than what you can actually read. Most of them are very short and concise and get to the point. And also the other thing I want to point out also in the thumbnails, limited elements. You know what I mean? Maybe 3 elements sometimes. Yeah. So nothing too crazy. So you have a background, the alien creature, and then the text with an arrow. A couple of flying saucers, and then one of the former presidents, and then some text. So the overall aesthetic on there is keeping it simple, but it makes it very quick to understand. And I wanted to bring this up because, especially being a channel that's under 1,000 subs, and then the quality of the videos is top notch. Let me just say this, Dan, it is very, very good. So it gives me not my first channel vibes. So it's not a robot voice, nothing like that. Yeah. So very good, but I wanted to show you like an example of what we mean. And this is the kind of technique that can be applied to so many different genres in just a simplification of your titling, simplification of your thumbnails, to really be able to get a click. Like, had this channel popped up in my own browse feed, I would have clicked immediately. I wouldn't even have second guessed it. So,
yeah, I really I think that this channel just keeps at it a little bit longer. They're really gonna blow up. I mean, their first video, 44,000 views. I mean, they knew they were onto something. And I think it's an interesting topic too. UFOs aren't coming from space, but beneath the sea. I think that's just like a very crazy thing to say, you know, and it's
you
gonna
have
get
my
people to
attention.
click. Yeah, like, okay, tell me more.
Yeah.
And in some cases, that bit of like, whoa, is kind of missing from some of these. But overall, I think a lot of these are just kind of like a matter of time situation. Like they just need to live on YouTube a little bit longer. More videos, like I was talking about earlier, opportunities. Every video you get is another opportunity to grow that channel. So someone watches one of your future uploads and they're like, dang, this person's cool. And then they start seeing that you have this whole backlog of content that they can go through. And now they're like a loyal viewer.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. So that's just something I want to see. I think for this channel, it's just a matter of time, to be completely honest. The quality level is very, very high. The 44,000 views, I was a little suspicious at first. They have hundreds of comments and engagement, so there's no shenanigans going on. So yeah, but that's just something to really, really check out, like to give you an idea. And obviously, you don't have to be a UFO channel to be able to pull techniques, good techniques from a channel like this. But yeah, so kudos to Planet Elysium. They submitted their channel. I was very impressed. And like I said, this gives me not my first channel vibes. So yeah.
Well, look at that. So we're about at the random selection portion of the show. However, oh, do you hear that? Yep. Did you know that you can get songs like that and like this on Epidemic Sound? And did you know that we at vidIQ, you can get this goofy thing too? Did you know at vidIQ we have a partnership with them? And you can go ahead and check that out in the description below and get 50% off an annual plan at Epidemic Sound for new users there.
Nice.
I just wanted to call that out.
Yeah, I've been using them. So as a customer, I've actually been using Epidemic Sound for 4.5 years. And it's saved my butt because I learned the hard way using music from videos on YouTube that say royalty free, that say copyright free, and then get hit with copyright strikes. So don't do that. Don't do that. If you can afford it, if your channel's making any money, then this is an easy buy. The cool thing is, while you're using music, and you have a subscription to them, it's going to be valid. Let's say that at some point in the future, like, I can't afford to pay this anymore. I'm going to go ahead and shut it off. You don't have to worry about your back catalog getting copyrighted because you're still going to be covered while you are a paying customer. So it's something very, very useful. So that's just coming from me, from an actual customer. I didn't even realize that we had the partnership with them, but just from somebody who was actively paying for their subscription, just wanted to give you guys that heads up.
There you go. 50% off annual personal plans. Check that out. And enough messing around. I think we all know what time it is. It's time for the claw. What are you doing? That's a weird thing to do to everybody. I don't like that.
It was a little creepy. It was a little creepy, sir.
Yeah, I didn't feel upset now. It's the claw. Aha! This is how this works. We have two forms. We have a non-gaming form, and we have a gaming form. And as you can see, we got about the same amount of submissions on both of these forms. They get cleared every single live stream. At the end of this live stream, it's going to be erased. And, well, it'll be erased closer to the beginning of the next live stream. But either way, it gets erased, and you have to submit all over again. So we're going to do some random selections now from the claw. We're going to pick a non-gaming channel. We have 523 here, 584 there. I'm going to tell the claw that we need, I don't know, 600 spots here.
There we go. And by the way, for everybody, those were the mini claws. Those are the mini claws. Don't get this out of context. Those are the mini claws.
Whatever you got to say.
Perfect.
Almost barfed up my coffee. All right. We have L limited, or it's just limited, but with extra letters here and there. We got them playing Team Fortress 2, which is an oldie but a goodie.
Cool.
Pretty loyal fan base there for Team Fortress. Don't know how it's doing these days, but it seems like you're getting some pretty decent views. I like right here, 8 days ago, TF2 VR experience. So that's kind of interesting. Didn't even know that there was an option to play TF2 in VR. Kind of a short video, but you know what? It kind of blew up on you. And I'm kind of wondering if this is permission for you to do more of that style of content. Can you do more things in TF2 with a VR headset? And then also the best mod I've ever seen. This one got quite a few views as well. So here's the thing, especially with older games. The reason games like TF2 are still popular is because of the modding community. I'd have to imagine. It's definitely true of other games. I'm not a big TF2 guy. Okay. But it does seem like because of, things like this, modding is a thing in TF2. And in that sense, I think your content should be about that. You should be going, when you're playing games like this, you should be going where the audience is going for the actual game, right? So if the audience around that game is interested in mods or a new update or whatever it might be, your content should be built around that after that point. Like, you should do modded content. You should do the things that are getting the majority of that audience excited. You should cover them in some way. It can make covering games a lot of fun, but it can also make it very difficult. Sometimes an update comes out or a mod comes out that's really popular that you don't like. And then you got to just kind of deal with it, but that's also, I see that as an opportunity to give your opinions about it. You could talk about all the ways it's terrible. You could talk about all the ways it could improve. So there's a lot of different ways to kind of do that. But even if all of your videos are about modded TF2, I wouldn't know it unless I saw these two right here, TF2 VR experience and best mod I've ever seen. So that should be a clue right there. Some of these just look like garden variety TF2 videos, nothing too exceptional about them. But if they all feature really cool mods and things like that, then try to pick out the most interesting thing you can when it comes to covering TF2. Let's see what they're doing with shorts real quick. One short, got a few views. Okay, cool. I'd recommend doing some more shorts, especially if you're doing live streams. You can always take really cool moments from those and turn them into shorts. Great way to build like a content ecosystem. So yeah, cool. All right, let's go back to the very loud Claw and pick out a non-gaming channel, 265.
It's the silent Claw now.
Yeah. Well, for now.
You've been silenced, sir.
Maybe it's when I pinned the tab. I don't know. It just picked the same channel, but that's not, I swear, it's someone else. Someone else submitted and we picked them. It is Jonah, or is it John or Jonah? Jonah Nixarly. I am so sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. They are a cooking channel with almost 1,000 subscribers, bringing you easy and fun comfort food recipes every week. All right. What do we think, Jeff? Just on the surface here, food thumbnail wise, my first critique is that they feel a bit busy when compared to other food channels.
Yeah, for sure. And this is one of those things where, as I've said it obviously a couple times here, less is more, especially when it comes to food channels, especially. So that's one of the things where I would really focus on the food, less on the text, similar to what they did with this baked mushrooms and garlic, second one from the left, where it's mostly just the plate. It's a shot of the plate, and this can be done. You don't even have to have a fancy camera to get this right. You just have to get it in a good, decent light. It could be daylight. You just have to put a lamp up to it. You can use your cell phone, but a nice shot of the food. If you can get closer in on the food, even better. If you can get a nice detailed shot, a little editing can go a long way by bumping up the saturation and making those colors pop in the food. Yep. But really focusing on that, because some of the top-down shots. What's up?
Lighting too.
Yeah, lighting for sure. Natural light definitely helps. But yeah, if we can bring out the colors in the foods by bumping up the saturation, it can definitely help. We don't want a bunch of text covering up the actual thing. You know what I mean? That's one way that you could be hurting yourself, especially if it's on a recipe that could be like less popular, you know what I mean? Or if you have a really popular recipe and you notice, hey, this didn't get much views, it could be because your thumbnail literally didn't show the thing. And when you've got 20 other options that actually do show the thing and it looks delicious, people are going to click on that. So don't shoot yourself in the foot by doing it that way. Let's see, like there's this one here where it's, I cooked healthy and delicious vegetarian food for our dinner, but it says today's special delicious food, then the channel name, and then, or maybe it's just because you have the curse. No, that's the actual thumbnail. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on
in there.
Yeah, it's just not. That's not a real thumbnail. Like, it's for what you're doing here. This is not it. You know, especially for a food channel. But also, I'm kind of concerned because this is 7 months ago. So a little concerning. Not sure if they were mostly doing shorts or what's going on.
They claim to be doing long form videos, primarily.
Yeah, 7 months.
If you look at shorts, there's only a few.
Are they doing live?
Not anymore. If they were.
Interesting. Okay.
So, yeah, it may be the case that like they're just looking for now some new ideas, some fresh perspective because they're not feeling super great about maybe their views. I don't know. If you're submitting for audit but you haven't uploaded in 7 months, I have to imagine you're probably going through something YouTube wise that you could use a bit of some help with, right? Like you're basically asking us to like come in and say, hey, like here's all you need to do. I think titles and thumbnails, not to harp on about them, but that's exactly what the issue is here for me. I can't really get over it, but it's a food channel, and there's so many examples of food channels that do thumbnails just super well, and you can learn from those. But unfortunately, right now they are your competition. They're smoking you, because these are just not. These are not it for food thumbnails, and I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just pointing this out because I feel like it's you have the skills. You're cooking very elaborate meals. You're spending a lot of time on this, and I hate to see that these videos are not going where I feel like they could.
Yeah. So like that last thumbnail for a food channel, that ain't it. That just straight up. And like just like Dan, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying to give you the help you need on that. Keep it simple, like you did with the baked mushrooms. Why does the baked mushrooms have 165 views and this other video has 14 views? Thumbnail. Could be topic as well, but that thumbnail is not helping. Not at all. But then again, also a little consistency. Now, I know we just said how people don't have to upload all the time, but 7 months, that is a long gap. And I know life gets in the way and life happens, but if you submitted your channel here, it makes me think that you want to kind of get this moving, get past that 1,000 subs. We got to start uploading videos. Yeah. Every opportunity. Dan talked about it. Every video is an opportunity. So you got to get back on and get back to uploading some videos.
I think this got 14 views, right? And they're almost at 1,000 subscribers. It's been 7 months. It's a 5-minute video. I wonder if I'm just to imagine in your scenario real quick, like you worked extra hard on this video and it flopped, and maybe that's when you said, nope, I'm done. I think if anyone ever feels that way, you can delete the video and re-upload it at a later date, but with new packaging. People do it. It's a thing you can do. Especially if you're talking about 14 views when you feel like it should have done more, you can just start over, remove the video and start. I wouldn't normally recommend that, but because this video sat for so long with only 14 views and hasn't moved since, I have to imagine that's an option for this video. If it's still getting views, it's a different story. You can just redo the title and thumbnail without deleting the video. But yeah, that is kind of what I'm thinking right now. It looks like you may have used like maybe a template for this thumbnail. Let's take a step back. Look at this thumbnail, the crispy mushrooms. This thumbnail was almost perfect. It was good. You did a split screen of mushrooms like before and after, and I think that was the right call. But then you put, boom, crispy mushroom over it, and we can no longer see the food in the background, especially at a small scale where it's just scrolling through YouTube. And that's like the kind of thing I think that could really help. If you try and simplify your thumbnails, use 1 to 2 words maximum, 0 words ideally for a food channel. We see many successful food channels use no text. We've seen successful use text too.
Yeah, you don't need your name in the thumbnails either, by the way.
Don't need your name, your logo, anything like that. And please don't put subscribe buttons in your thumbnails. There's almost nowhere in a video these days where I feel like anyone should be using a call to action for subscribe, a little click. It's so overdone, and people are going to hit the button. If you just let them, just find a fun way to remind them. You don't need all the animations, but especially in your thumbnails. It's just so many extra things that are distracting from the food in this case, the really delicious looking food. And then we didn't even talk about titles yet, but in some cases you are doing what we would probably call keyword stuffing your titles, but you're using a different language. So maybe you're just trying to appeal to 2 languages at once. We've seen channels do this. I I would look at your own data here, but I feel like if you just simplify them to one target language, that's probably going to do you a world of good, because I don't know if I'm going to get English or another language here when I click, because you've kind of put like two different titles in one video.
Yeah, we see this a lot, and I've tried to help channels with this. Half the time they don't listen. They're using 2, 3, 4 titles, keyword stuff in their titles. It doesn't help you. All it does is confuse the viewer. Pick one. And if you absolutely feel like you have to include all of these other keywords, put them in the description. You have 5,000 characters in there that you can play with. But as your title, you have 80 max, 50 or less. Keep it simple. Make it make sense to a human being, and all of the keywords and all that stuff you want to throw in, put it in the description.
Yeah. And then the last thing I'll say before we move on to the next channel is the title of the latest video. I cooked healthy and delicious vegetarian food for our dinner. I feel like the way that title is written, I got the entire story already, and I don't need to click on the video. That's just my honest review of that title. I cooked healthy and delicious vegetarian food for our dinner. Cool. All right. You know, cool. It just sounds like you told a little story in the title. And I think instead you can position this to be a little more valuable to the viewers, right? So take leftovers and make easy vegetarian meal. You can include for your family in there if you want, but I don't think you need it. Turning leftovers into easy vegetarian meal, because when the way it's I'm saying leftovers because the way it's worded, it sounds like maybe you just kind of took stuff, like you didn't have a specific recipe in mind, you just kind of took stuff and threw it together, which is like a lot of fun sometimes. I'm making that assumption just for simplicity's sake too, just to help get the idea across. But try to consider who your titles are for, right? You're trying to provide value. You're obviously just scrolling over your videos, you're showing people how to make stuff. Like we got oil going into a pan and all kinds of stuff happening. So you're providing a lot of value. So make sure your title and your thumbnail reflect that. But that's what I got. I think this channel, I hope this channel comes back, and I hope they kick it off and really knock it out of the park. I think they can. Why don't we take a look at some of these questions, Jeff? You've been starring even more super chat questions. Thank you so much. We'll get back to the auditing channels. We'll do a gaming channel in a second. My videos are killing it in search, but not in suggested. How do I fix that? From Codeations.
So first, I don't think you need to fix that. Because search. So here's the thing, and I want you guys to understand this. Browse is good. Suggestion traffic also good. External traffic also good. Search traffic also good. So there's nothing to fix there. If anything, if you want to add more, because you want to keep your search traffic, like that's the thing. Search traffic has paid so many YouTubers so much money over so many years, including myself, that I never underestimate it. But if you want to get more suggested, then you have to start making content that is relevant to the same person, to the same viewer, right? So let's say the biggest example of somebody who has this nailed down pat is a channel called Company Man. So Company Man has it nailed down, because if he has a video about Coke, he's going to have a video about Pepsi. If he has a video about Nike, he's going to have a video about Adidas. You know, if he has a video about Ford, he has a video about Chevy. And he's always going to have that. So that's the best way you can get suggested, to start making videos that are going to be relevant to that exact same viewer and calling them out in your videos. Like, hey, so yeah, you just checked out this whole video about Pepsi. If you're interested in seeing my thoughts about, Coca-Cola, check out the video I'm gonna leave for you right up here on the screen. So literally sending people to those other videos as well. That's one way you can do it to start getting that suggested traffic building up. You want your own videos suggesting your own videos, and that's up to you. You can control that. So that's one way you can do it, but don't think of it as something you need to fix. It's just something that you can add if possible.
The way to fix it, and I'm using that word because you used it. Don't fix anything. The way to benefit from other areas of YouTube is to make videos for other areas of YouTube. You are able to target search in some videos, and you're able to target browse with others, depending on how you title them. And I feel like when I look at videos right now, like we're seeing from the Company Man, that line must be blurring, because if the Company Man's getting views from search, I have to imagine they're also getting views from browse, because some of these titles are not very searchable when you think about it. Cold Stone Creamery, why they're successful, that could be either. You know, someone could search for Cold Stone Creamery and that video comes up. But I feel like if they're looking for a very specific, like a menu item or something, that's not the video that's going to come up in search, right? I think this would do good in either. So you could title your videos to kind of show up in either, but I think that you can choose as well. Like if you do a how-to video and it's about a very specific thing, how to fix a toilet, you're probably not going to get any browse traffic from that. But like Jeff said, that's okay. Like, because people are going to find your video, they're going to see that it's helpful and it's going to solve their problem. And even if they don't come back to watch anything else, you've still done it. You've still gotten views. You've still helped somebody. You still got ad revenue for it, potentially affiliate sales, whatever might be attached to it, if it gets sponsored. And that's great. And then you can make other videos at other times that are more, you know, fun and not searchable at all, but they appear in browse and they're very like, you know, trendy kind of topics.
Yeah, no, I knew a guy who I actually talked to a smaller creator, like 600 subscribers, who was doing different tips. He works in an automotive repair shop. Different tips on stuff, how to, in basics, like how to replace a battery on your car key, your key fob, for all kinds of different models. Right, every time a new car came in, he would show exactly how to open it, how to change a battery. He would leave a link in the description for Amazon where to get the exact battery you need for that exact vehicle. Wipers, floor mats, like all these random videos. You think, oh no, a few of them have gone viral. He's literally 600 subscribers, made thousands of dollars per month because of those affiliate links, because he's targeted search, how to replace wiper blades on a 2022 Toyota Camry. You know, and he's got the link for the exact wiper blades you need. So you can just order them and have them sent to your house. And then he shows you exactly how to change them. It's little stuff like that. He's not going to gain a ton of subscribers, but he's making that paper. So
Goals. I mean, if their goal were subscribers, they would be niched down into a very specific topic, making videos that appeal to the same audience over and over and over. If their goal is to make money, now we're talking about a totally different YouTube channel.
Yep.
And this is why we're constantly telling everybody there is no one size fits all on YouTube. Earlier, we talked about consistency and how it's kind of nonsense. You can be as inconsistent as you want, depending on your goals. So it's really all about like how you approach YouTube, which is cool. It's my favorite part about YouTube. You can be who you want to be and you can approach it however you want to approach it. There's so many different ways to do this. We have more. We have a lot. We might not cover them all right now, but we'll see what we get to here. I want to give vidIQ a big thank you. I have vidIQ Max subscription and I have already gained 1,000 subscribers. Look at that. You've gained 1,000 subscribers since joining Max, and you're giving us a super chat for it. Why? Thank you so much. That's so cool. And thank you for sharing. vidIQ Max is linked down below. Of course, if you're interested in learning more about that, that is our group coaching product. And there's channels like this throughout the program. So thank you. My channel is aimed at horror movie reviews, but I also do vlogs every now and then in, I guess, San Francisco. Should I create a separate channel? Because horror movies are my passion.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I think San Francisco vlogging and horror movies, if you're trying to build up these audiences on both channels, they're not really a good fit for each other. You're gonna do those vlogs and they're gonna be like, oh, you like Stevie Todd, eh? Well, check out this horror movie review they did, and they're not gonna watch it. So yeah, that sounds like two separate channels to me for sure.
Yeah, definitely two channels. Channels are free to create. Fun fact. So, so go ahead and create a second channel and put that content on a separate channel and let your horror stuff live. Let that be the focus of that channel, especially if that's your passion, dude. Like, do that. Do that. I love a good campy horror movie. So the campier, the better. The worse reviews it gets, the more I want to watch it. So please definitely stay on that.
I'm an anime, manga, facts, and opinion channel. Grown quite a lot, but just wondering if it would be bad to live stream anime video games weekly. Do you think that would confuse my audience? Yes, potentially. So I don't know enough. I'm not an anime guy, okay? So I don't know quite enough about the fandom to know if there are shows and games that are like of interest. Like, okay, so there's Pokemon, right? And there are games and there are shows. And I don't know if there's a lot of crossover there, but I know that that's one case where an anime has a video game and vice versa. so it's conceivable that maybe a channel would try to put them both in the same spot. But if I'm to think of Pokemon for a second, because I play the games, I don't watch the show. And if I was watching a channel cover the game, I would want tips for the game. I would want to know where I can find secrets, where I can find the best Pokemon. I would want to know very specific things about that video game, and I wouldn't care what was going on in the show. And I can say that legitimately because I do like that franchise, but I don't watch the TV show. And no YouTube channel could put out a video that would make me interested in the TV show because that time is come and gone for me. So that's kind of what you're up against. I don't know the fandoms that you're around though, but you would know them better. Go into Reddits, go into places like that, and really like learn everything you can about the people who are fans of these properties that you're a fan of as well. For vidIQ, why are my videos to double down on always the same as the ones that can use work?
Oh, that's interesting. So basically, I'm guessing for Tish, and this is our not vidIQ Tish, but Tish in Tennessee, is what I'm guessing here is that the topics are the same for the videos that aren't working and the videos that are, which is quite interesting. So it makes me wonder if the topic is still popular, then I would be looking at what's different about them. What's different between the ones that worked and the ones that didn't? Is it pacing? Is it the thumbnail? Is it something in the title? Even if the topic's the same, the packaging could be different, and that could be why it's not working, or timing. So is it something that's time sensitive? Why if my most viral video of how to cook a Thanksgiving turkey that I launched in November, why is it tanking in May? Timing. So it could be a part of that as well. So there's other factors that could be involved here that I would be looking at for sure. Because it could be something going on. Could be in the edit, could be poor retention. But that could be what's happening.
I wonder if it's the same videos. I wonder if there's just not enough data. Or maybe there's something that did well in the video, so you double down on it, but there's parts of it that could use work too. Maybe I can't remember all the categories and needs work. I think engagement is one of them. Maybe you're getting views, but people aren't commenting. You know what I mean? So could you do more to get people more engaged with the content, to get them to hit the like button, things like that? Yeah, that might be what's going on. Without seeing it for myself, it'd be hard to guess.
Yeah, and engagement's easy, man. A lot of people don't realize how easy it can be. Ask questions in the first third of your video that are relevant to that audience. So I make videos about headphones and earbuds. So in the first third of a video, if I want to drive engagement, I'll ask a question like, hey, so when you get a new set of headphones, what's the first song that you listen to? Let me know down in the comment section. I'll do something like that because that's going to drive engagement. Telling people, hey, like, comment, subscribe. That does not work. Why? Give me a reason. Why should I like? Why should I comment? Why should I subscribe? Ask a question if you want engagement, a question that's relevant to them, or even something trendy. There's another audio channel that I watched that just randomly out of nowhere was like, hey, so quick question for you guys. Do you like pineapple on your pizza? I'm like, wait, what? So, but it got the comments rolling, right? You have to ask a question that's going to trigger that level of engagement. So just something to think about for everybody in the chat.
So let's see. We have just a few more here. We can try to cover these real quick. Views, revenue is consistent, but not growing. Thought my issue was suggested percentage is too low. I don't know what you're asking here.
No, I don't think the lack of suggested is what's going to stop your growth. If anything, it could be just the type of content itself that you're making. I don't know what kind of content you make, so it could be what it is, because some niches don't grow subscribers fast and others grow subscribers super quick. So it really just depends on what the goals of the channel are, but that could be what's going on. One thing you can also try, if you aren't doing so, is, let's say if you aren't doing so, you can ask for subscribers. If you are doing it, it could be the way that you're asking or the time that you're asking. So that's something that I would be looking at as well, but it can help. I know for a fact because I did it. I hadn't asked for subscribers in a long time, but I decided to do it in my last 2 live streams where I was just like, hey, we're getting close to 90K. If I've given you any value so far in this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss any upcoming videos. But basically kind of giving them a reason. And I don't do it at the beginning. I don't do it at the end. I do it after I've already delivered value, after I've already delivered on the thumbnail and the title. And it definitely works. So, because I saw a bump from my usual 100-ish subs a day to pushing over 200 to 250 subs a day after I started asking. So just something to think about.
Yeah. We have a question here. I think it's a question. Hard to understand here. With updated search, I thought suggested is better. We were talking earlier about how you can target search or suggested, and how search can be great for building a channel in a different way, earning revenue rather than focusing so much on like subscribers. There's one way to think about it. Maybe they're asking from that context. I thought suggested was better. If I'm right, I would say better would be subjective in that case.
Yep.
Better for who? Better for what? I mean, define better. I think a lot of people would argue that search still holds a lot of relevance to what they do on YouTube. In fact, did you know that YouTube shorts show up in search now? That's really hard. YouTube shorts show up in search now.
No, they really do though. It's
do.
been popping up on my own feed. Yep.
Yeah, like I recently rebuilt my computer. And I dared to look up just a couple of things while I was like getting parts for it. And oh my freaking goodness, I'm getting so many shorts suggested to me now for, cleaning your PC and processors and motherboards. And they're actually good. Like, I'm like, oh, I kind of wish this was suggested to me while I was picking parts because I didn't see this one. And oops, I made a mistake. But there's a lot of like advice you can give in a 1-minute YouTube short, and YouTube respects that. And so shorts are showing up in search and answering questions faster than ever before. Sometimes you don't need 4 minutes to answer questions. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's 30 seconds. Like, oh, you want to know how to do this? Pop, 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 pop. It's done. And I think that's great. So search holds a lot of relevance even today. We have one here. Your channel helped me so much. 100K in less than 4 months doing shorts. Congrats. Wow. We'll start doing long form next year. I hope the subs will help bump the views. I don't know. I think you'll get some suggested for sure. I wouldn't count on the specific subscribers bumping your views. It's because subscribers are such a wishy-washy metric these days. I don't know how you feel about this, Jeff, but we do know YouTube is building those bridges between short form viewers and long form viewers. But I don't know if it would worry so much about subscribers specifically. It's going to just be among your current returning viewers, like who's going to get suggested that content.
Yeah, I agree with that too. So, trying to reread this and understand what they're trying to say here. So 100K in less than 4 months doing shorts, start doing long form. I hope the subs will help bump the views. It's possible if the content is still relevant to them. It's possible. But it's something you're going to have to experiment with. One thing I've learned in 6 years of doing this is that there are no guarantees when it comes to YouTube. So you're going to have to experiment with it.
But don't be discouraged. If your first long form videos don't get what your shorts were getting, do not be discouraged. Just keep uploading. And it looks like you have a Minecraft avatar. You may or may not know about block facts. We used to talk about them all the time. They're an example of in early days YouTube Shorts channel that pivoted to long form content, and they just made content very similar to their shorts, just longer versions of it, and it worked. It worked beautifully for them. In fact, they were getting more views on their long form content after a while. So definitely can be done, but if it isn't like a 1-to-1, conversion, don't be discouraged. It can still work.
Yeah, no, 100%, man.
How can I get more impressions on my videos? Make videos that people are going to be interested in.
Yeah, topics that people actually want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, if you're worried about impressions, that tells me YouTube is taking your videos and they're giving them to some people, and they're not seeing a lot more clicks from that. Your click-through rate is probably low, and that's an indicator to YouTube that this title, this thumbnail, it's not doing it. Something about this is off. And it could be that you're covering great topics, but your titles and thumbnails need work. Or it could be that your titles and thumbnails are great, but you're covering topics that no one's necessarily interested in. So those are kind of the two keys there.
Yep.
Okay. Super chat here.
I think they're asking if their channel can be monetized. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question because I don't know your content and what you're doing. Maybe
a brand account. Can a brand account be monetized?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, I think a brand account could be monetized. Sorry if we don't understand the question. And then one last one here before we go to the next gaming channel. My gaming channel is at 8,600 subs. Congrats. But most of my videos are not recommended to my subs. How do I fix that? Only videos of games are recommended.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing, and this is a mindset thing, right?
Yeah.
Because this comes down to the mindset of I have 8,600 subs, I should get 8,600 views per video. No, it's not how this works.
Yes,
and
it is.
I know, right?
I said it is.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing where don't think of it in that sense of my videos aren't being recommended to my subs. Doesn't matter because
Neither
you need to start
are
making. Yeah, make videos for the new people. Make videos for people who have never seen your channel. Don't worry about the videos being recommended to your subs. Focus on getting the new viewers in if you want your channel to grow. That's what you should be focused on. Every video should be made for the new person who's never seen your channel before. I would not sweat that too much. Now, if you start getting more return viewers, awesome. But I'd never worry about, my videos being recommended to my subscribers. I just focus on the new viewers.
There are currently for us 397,000 people in the last 28 days who have returned to our channel. But if you look down below, you'll see that we actually have 1.3 plus million subscribers. That's okay. Because the subscribe button is like the like button for your entire channel. How often do you go back to a video and unlike the video? Not dislike. You click the like button you once clicked and unclick it. Probably never, right? There's probably very little chance you'll ever do that because once you hit like on a video, nothing happens, right? The subscribe button on YouTube these days is almost the same way. You get a sub feed, but a lot of people don't check it. Once they hit subscribe, that's basically them in that moment of time going, hey, nice content. Good job, you. Don't take that as a promise from the viewer that they're going to come back. That's not what it means. It's almost never what it meant, but there was a time where the sub feed was more prominent. Now it is simply not. YouTube is much better at recommending content outside of the subscription box, and that's what's happening here. So this is our actual current subscriber count. It's in analytics under the audience tab. You can find this for yourself. This is how many subscribers we currently have, and this number will go up and down. It'll fluctuate. The purple line represents returning viewers. The blue line represents new viewers. And we're doing a really good job of attracting new people and getting them to come back. And that's all that matters. That's all we care about. And everyone else who's come and gone, we can assume that we've done a great job. We've helped them. We've answered their questions and they moved on. That's all we can do. Otherwise, we will go into a mental death spiral, and that's not worth it. That doesn't help anybody. So just wanted to show you that. There's also other areas here where we can look at. Where's that fun graph that everyone points to? Did you know that only 10% of people are watching or subscribed to my channel?
Audience.
It is under audience. I just looked. I couldn't find it.
Scroll down.
See, they buried it. It used to be higher
right there.
up. Okay, so 67.9% of people are not subscribed. That's how many people watch our channel in the last 28 days that are not subscribed. I consider that a win. That's great. I'm reaching well beyond my subscriber count. So change, like Jeff said, change the mindset here. And this is for everybody. Change the mindset. Subscribers are great. It's a fun vanity metric. We love to watch number go up, but it doesn't, at the end of the day, this does not mean anything. This is not guaranteed anything. Anything at all.
That's why when you see people, and this is one of the dumbest things you can tell people, is like, oh, you have 1 million subs. Why don't you have 1 million views? Because that's not how YouTube works.
Yeah.
So that's something that you have to keep in mind. That's not how this works. And that isn't any bad or good thing. You know what I mean? It just depends on the topic and who you're trying to talk to. And sometimes people make videos that are a long game play. They're doing evergreen content because they know that it may not get 1 million views in the first week, but it's going to perform well over the next 3 years.
So there you go. That's our speech. I've just unmuted the tab. There, you can accidentally click that and unmute it. I see what I did wrong now. Okay, so let me go into settings here. Let's go ahead and bump this to like 610 to cover everybody. We're doing a gaming channel now. Thank you for your submissions. 58. Ooh, or nice and early on the gaming form here. 58. And they make long form videos. Zach Killer. They got 24 subscribers. They do playthroughs, sometimes gaming memes. All right. Let's check it out. It looks like they're playing a racing game. I want to say there's an F1 game that keeps coming up. There's some Modern Warfare. Ultimately, though, they started about a month ago with some different animations. So I think my advice here might shock you, but I think this person should continue posting videos as often as possible. And I say that because I think that this is a good example of a channel that continues to post because they love creating content, but they need to kind of settle in and learn a bit more about YouTube. With only this much content in a month, I'm encouraged by how many videos you posted, but it looks like practice is needed because we can talk all day about titles and thumbnails again, like we have all live stream, but ultimately this is going to be a practice thing for you. So definitely go in, practice, and then once you kind of pick the game, pick the audience that you would like to watch your content, then you start to go out and do that research of what kind of content can I make that would attract the audience I want to attract to my channel. But that's what's needed here. Just keep making content for sure.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean you have to stop playing the other game. It just means that you have to only put one game on your channel and keep playing all the other games you want to play.
Yeah, absolutely. But Zach Gaming, thank you so much for submitting. We'll get to the next channel.
All right, let's see what we got here. It's terrible. What a waste of technology. I don't know why people do this to themselves. Absolutely trash. That's right. I fired the audio engineer. That's why you hear echoing. But that's what happens when you take over vidIQ. You get what you pay for, which is not very much. You see, I fired everyone and made everyone pay. I pay them half what I used to, and it's bad. So we can bring the people back on real quick. Listen, I got bad news for you guys. So I fired Dan and Jeff, as they know, and I brought them back for half what I was paying them in the big wiping of vidIQ when I came and took over. By the way, for those of you that didn't see it, can you throw the Wayback Machine and show them the recap of what happened a couple of weeks ago there, Dan? Do we still have that? I want people to know.
You mean this?
I am mere days away from the final cancellation of Rob Wilson from vidIQ. I have succeeded. I have controlling interest of vidIQ. I bought 51% shares. You're fired.
That is it. I'm out of here. I have had a lucrative offer.
What?
And I think it is time.
No! Don't let him say it. Don't let him say it.
Decided.
I don't know that hashtag got in there, but anyway, yes, Savage IQ is back, and the thing is really important here. I'm trying to save money because what happened was I got 51% interest of vidIQ and found out there's all types of cruft I need to get rid of, which is why I fired everyone and then I hired them back for half the price. But here's something that happened this week. I just want y'all to know. Both Jeff and Dan don't know this because here's the thing. I'm trying to make optimizations in the company, trying to make more money, and engineers, people who program vidIQ, that's expensive, so I had to fire them all. So starting this week, you guys are programming vidIQ. I hope you guys know how to program things because that's new that you have to do and learn how to code and C and Jarvel and all that stuff. I don't know how to do all that. So y'all going to start coding for vidIQ this week. Good luck with that.
Do we get paid like programmers or?
I mean, you get paid what you get paid, man. Whatever I send to you is what you get. That's what it is. It's going to be this way because it's the Savage IQ. We got rid of Rob Wilson, thank goodness. And now we are under the holy spell of the Savage Man. Now, listen, we'll do a couple. I'll allow some more of these audits. Why don't you do another one of those audits you guys do? And then, of course, we'll do some savagery. But go ahead and do one. I want to watch. I want to see. It's job performance day.
Oh, my God.
As I'm giving reviews on your performance. So let's see you review one of these channels. And let me see. And I'll review you reviewing the channel.
Okay. All right. Well, it's a non-gaming channel now that we need. And we got, as you can see, many submissions, people waiting for legitimate reviews.
Let me ask you a question. How much does that crane cost? Does that cost us anything?
This is a free crane.
Okay, good. If it did, I was going to cut it. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, there's some other things that got cut from the budget, but we'll get to that in a minute. 580. So that means we got to pick channel 580 from the form, the non-gaming one.
We're letting a lot of people in here. What, 580? Does that cost us anything?
It is 10 cents per
Okay,
channel.
look.
Yeah,
No,
the server
I'm sorry.
space, the
We're gonna have
costs
to cut this to three channels per week. That's it.
Ooh.
580 is too many. You get away with it this week, but not next week.
All right. So they do shorts, they said. It's cool about woodworking. I hope I'm saying that right. And wow, look at the shorts they're doing. 5,000 views, 10,000 views, 10,000 views. This is great. Let's watch one of these and see what we can see. It's very quiet. I unmuted it. You wouldn't know it.
Using a lot of our bandwidth right now. Be careful with this.
It already looped. In fact, they kind of reverse it. So it's a very interesting way to loop a short. Epoxy resin pour, cobalt blue. I'm going to give the advice again that you don't necessarily need all these hashtags. YouTube doesn't do a whole lot with hashtags. I think this is a very interesting way to do shorts. I would like to hear more sounds, I think. Oh, here we go. Now I'm going to mute it because it's loud. I do regret my wishes there.
I don't know, Dan. Jeff, I need to hear what you have to say. I'm going to give that a C. I'm give that a C for Dan. Go ahead, Jeff. Let me hear what you got to say about this channel.
Well, I like it so far, man. You know, resin pours are fun, but I do agree with Dan that we do need to have a little bit of sound effects to kind of liven it up a little bit more. If they're not going to be using trendy music or anything like that. So, but I'd like to see more of it, and I like the fact that it does loop, so it'll kind of keep you watching there. It's satisfying to see it fill and then unfill. More of that could be a lot of fun. It could work really well for him.
All right. I mean, that's all right. I'll give you a B, but really, you got to remember, you always got to shill. You got to make sure they buy something from us because we need this money.
Oh, right.
This whole website is expensive, man. I need to make some money.
Well, right now,
every 5 minutes.
We have a Cyber Week sale. You can get 50% off Boost plan for 6 months.
Yes.
Cyber Week. Yeah.
Sign up, please. Please, dear God in heaven, sign up.
And then
I need this money.
Epidemic Sound. We got 50% off an annual plan for Epidemic Sound with the link down below.
Do we own them yet?
No, it's just a friendly partnership.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. We make money on that in some way? I need to make
That's
some
how
money.
that works. That's generally,
That's terrible. Well, look, all right, look, we're going to get down to the get down. Let's go ahead and get some savagery going. For those of y'all that want a savage audit, a real audit, I'm going to tell you about yourself. It's probably going to hurt your feelings, but at least you'll know where you stand in this world. So if you want some of this savagery, you're going to go ahead and put in hashtag savagery. Why not? With a Y.
So remember the hashtag name picker? That got cut from the budget. We don't have.
Oh, that's true. So how do we do this now?
So now you just have to look and see who used the hashtag.
Lord, you're gonna have me look. Go ahead and look because I can't see nothing.
Okay, fine. So we have this person used the hashtag.
All right, why not? There's Proof Pie. Is that PewDiePie's little brother?
I'll try and find them.
Proof Pie, Prof P 2000.
It does look like their channel popped up.
Oh, look at this. What is this? Oh, unfortunate. Oh, this is unfortunate. Let me look at this big screen. I've seen that pig before. What is that from?
That is Technoblade.
Right. That's that. Yeah.
YouTuber who passed away.
What's the guy to the next one? That's another. Is that another Technoblade? What was that? Someone else?
Herobrine, the man, the myth, the legend. Herobrine.
Herobrine. What does that mean?
It's a Minecraft lore thing.
You mean, is that an actual person, Dan? Are we talking about something fake? Can you help me?
No, it's a character in Minecraft lore. It's kind of like Bigfoot, but
hold on. We on black belt nerd stuff right now. You're talking about lore of Minecraft. It's one thing to play Minecraft because we know you ain't got a job if you do. But you're talking about lore like an actual storyline. We gotta move on. This is pathetic. I'm sorry if you're doing lore about Minecraft. You need help. You need get some help. Stop it. You know that little meme with Michael Jordan? He says, just stop it. Get help. That's what you need to do. You need to just stop and get help.
This person used the hashtag.
Oh, let's see. Millionaires. All right, maybe we can get them for some money. Let's go ahead and do that. Millionaires, stigma. All right. I think we might be able to get them for some money. $39.95 every 5 minutes.
Looks like they're doing shorts.
That's Mr. Beast. He's got a lot of money. Is this Mr. Beast channel?
No.
There's a lot of Mr. Beast in here. You don't think it's his channel?
No, I think these are clips of people who've done interviews.
Mr. Beast looks like he's eating good lately. What is going on with him? All right. Well, look. Oh, is that Vin? Is that a fake Vin Diesel over there? What's going on in this?
Don't know what's going on.
Who channel is this? I'm confused. This dude just stealing. Oh, he's stealing other people's content. like a true savage would. Congratulations, you graduate level 2 Savage Academy. For stealing other content, just be careful. They might shut your channel down, but that's okay. That's the risks we take. We go for everything. We swing for the fences. Sometimes we make it, sometimes we don't. We got to get another one of these up there. What time is it? We got enough time for one more. Oh, let's see if we squeeze one more in there.
All right. Well, this person used the hashtag.
This is the Lark. All right, Zglark. Let's take a look.
Like that.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it is them.
I mean, oh, okay, shorts in Minecraft. All right, well, listen, if you can go for it. How long have you been doing this?
Let's see.
Like
about a year.
About a year. You did what? 6 videos in a year? 6 shorts in a year? No, how many shorts did you do? Like 10 shorts in a year?
Give or take.
That is a black belt underachiever right there. That's something right. That's procrastination on a level I've never seen. Can you imagine shorts? They less than a minute, and in a year you're like, listen, I'll get around to it. Eventually, 15 seconds of my time, I'm gonna find 15 seconds in my day for the next 365 days. I'm gonna find 10 of them. You realize if you put them all together, like you have about 3 minutes worth of stuff. That's crazy. You couldn't find 3 minutes and 365 days worth of time to put up more videos than this. And the thing that you did was Minecraft, which you were probably playing anyway. So realistically, you out there just double procrastinating. You're like, listen, I'm gonna play this game. I'm not gonna go ahead and upload it because I mean maybe I'm successful, but you know what? I ain't got no time for that. I gotta make these blocks. I get this diamond block. Oh, maybe let me upload this last 10 seconds I played because I promised myself I was going to. I said I was gonna be a YouTuber someday, but that ain't gonna happen for you. The dream is not for you. I just want you to know it's for some people, but it's not for you. We really appreciate your time. We would more appreciate your money. If you want to go ahead and sign up for Boost at the bottom, go ahead and sign up for Boost. We got a little deal going on right there. We can get some money. I think I get about 70% of the take we do. So if you put in the coupon Savage, we actually charge you 70% more, which I kind of like. That's the real coupon right there. Can you put that in there next week, Dan? Make sure the Savage coupon charges 70% more. We need to make sure that goes in rotation. And make sure you load.
I would write a note reminder, but you got rid of my notes app because you cut.
Well, find a free one. Find a free one. Look, here's the thing: we can't be spending money on this. And by the way, this whole microphone and nice lights and cameras you got, y'all gonna have to do better than that. They got to do cheaper than that. There's a Dollar Tree down the street from your house. There we go. We can cut down the power because that power bill you got over there where you live is expensive. And El Jefe, listen, man, let me tell you something. You got a great setup, but we can't be doing this anymore, man. It's too much. It's too much. I'm gonna need you to sell all your stuff at the pawn shop. You're gonna all down to the pawn shop. Take your nice little microphone, shine it up real nice. Take your nice little camera, shine it up real nice, and then take it over to the pawn shop. Whatever they give you, send me 70% of it. All right. Yep. See that? All the power. That's the way to do it. The only person that's powered me. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us today here on the vidIQs. What's going on this week? What's going on this week?
Someone is trying to buy Savagery.
Well, that's good. That works for me. All right, good enough for me. Let's go ahead and see the sim. Yeah, listen, they paid money. Let's go. Let's go. He's trying to help keep this boat afloat. Let me tell you something. It's hard out here.
Like keep the lights on for $10.
Exactly. These two over here got to learn how to code this week. It's going to be difficult for them. So, give them thoughts and prayers. All right, what do we got? What is all this?
I don't know.
All right, looks like some colorful stuff with some cars. All right, setup guide. What kind of setup guide? What is that? Was this? Wait, TA. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a video game stuff. I know about that. Triple screen set. Oh, he's got like a lot of different screens and a lot of computer stuff. So he's like a gamer, huh? But he's like one that actually has money. So I like that. Obviously. Look at this. All right. He's playing what is that all about? Old-fashioned games right there. That's an old-fashioned video game. What's going on here? He got me confused. Is this a video game? Is real? I'm so confused. There's a plane in water. This is a terrible channel. What is happening? He's gonna make is a submarine, a flying submarine? I'll be darned. Look, I don't know what to tell this guy. He paid his $10. I want to. Oh, okay. Look, he got shoes. He got some kicks. Oh, look, it's Eminem's brother. Eminem. All right, Eminem. Listen, man, you blow them rhymes and stuff. You look pretty. You look like you got it, man. Listen, don't lose yourself. All right. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us, everyone, this week. Okay. We appreciate all the feedback and all the money that you send us.
$10 well spent.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen,
15.
This guy right here, he's gonna rap to you, show his shoes, and then show you a video game. It's great about a flying submarine. It's awesome. Anyway, we appreciate everyone who came on through. I have some important meetings to have with myself. So I just want to make sure that everyone understands that you're probably not paying us enough. So please send us more money. We need all of it because otherwise we might not be here next week. I'll tell you, it's hard. I don't know how to do business. It's been very difficult. It's not easy. It's not easy to do all this, and these people want money. These two actually want me to pay them. I didn't know that was part of the deal. I had no idea. Well, someone else super chatting. What do they want? What is this? Who is this? See, I come and all of a sudden the revenue goes up. Y'all need to do better. Who this is? Frank, you, and good night. One more time. Let's just take it to Frank, you, and good night. Let's see who this person is. He's a strange person, obviously, because look, he put a YouTube channel. So Frank, you, and good night. I don't know what that even means. Frank, you, and good. Oh, there's Star Wars. I like some Star Wars. Okay. And then what is this other stuff? Like this is knockoff Minecraft. What is that all about? Oh,
I think they're an animator.
Oh my God. I'm never gonna forget this. I think I'm 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm a scream waking up with a nightmare about this. Oh my God. This is some scary stuff. I mean, imagine you sitting there in your home, you're like, I got all these computer skills, I can animate stuff. And that's what you come up with. That's weird. Frank, you, and good night. I don't know. I don't know what to say other than help. I hope the police are watching this. I hope YouTube police are watching this too, and just realize that Frank, you, and good night, he might be a danger to society. We appreciate him though anyway, because $10 are gonna be good for us. All right. Anyway, thank everyone for joining us today. What's going on this week, Dan? We got more stuff going on. What's going on?
Tomorrow we will be doing video reviews where we look at your videos instead of just your, titles and your thumbnails.
How much do we charge for that?
It is free.
What? Well, we're gonna change that tomorrow. I don't know. You might just keep an eye out on our YouTube channel. That might change. I don't know. We got to see. I got to look through the financials, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, see everyone tomorrow for the very free live stream that is free.
Maybe.
Completely free.